Hi, welcome to Pyrography Made Easy. I'm Brenda. Well, it's time for another episode of Q&A. So let's get to it. My first question is one of the most unique ones that I have gotten. I have a series that I call the Christmas Postcard Series. And I call it that just because the size of the wood that I'm burning on for the series reminded me of postcards. Well, someone asked, can you mail them? Well, the answer is technically yes, you can mail these. Normally on the back of them, I just put the name of the artwork and the number in the series. But if you were to actually put in the mailing address, your return address, and take it to the post office and pay for your postage, it will go through the mail. Would I recommend that? Well, if you don't care about your artwork getting damaged, go for it. It would be a very unique gift to get in the mail. Okay, the next question is from Dawn, who wanted clarification on when to use oil versus water-based finishes for the wood. The only time that I would use an oil-based finish is if the artwork is going to be hung outdoors and exposed to the elements. At that point, I would use a spar urethane because it's the most durable finish that I'm aware of, but it also imparts a very distinctive yellow hue to the wood. So I would keep it to silhouette type of artwork or signs, stuff where you don't really care that you're going to lose a lot of the detail if it was more fine art with a lot of shading. The original question kind of revolved around including color in the artwork. I haven't had any problems with water-based finishes going over color. Colored pencils, any of that stuff, it's adhered right to everything, never had an issue. My next question is from Texan Rainey, hopefully I'm saying that right, who wanted to know how I transfer a pattern to leather. I use the same techniques that I do for all my pattern transfer. Print out the pattern on thin, lightweight copier paper, coat the back of it with graphite, and then place the graphite down onto the board, or in this case the leather, and trace over it. Works wonderfully. The only thing I will say is that when you're tracing onto leather, use a really light hand pressure because it's easy to score or embed your trace lines down into the surface of the leather. And this brings me to another commonly asked question I get, why don't I use carbon paper? Well, quite simply put, I've yet to find a brand that I like. First off, traditional carbon paper has wax in it. So you have to look for stuff that is graphite with no wax bindings. And of the ones that I've tried, they are either so light that I can't hardly see the trace lines, or they're so dark that I can't erase the trace lines. I got tired of wasting my money trying to search for a decent product, so I just stick with the method that I've used for a lot of years, and it's never failed me. Debbie asked, what kind of fan do I use to draw the smoke away when I am burning indoors? I use a little clip-on battery-operated fan. The fan has foam blades, so you can touch them even while it's running and you won't get hurt. I bought mine on Amazon for around $10 to $15, and the description said it was for baby strollers. Now I'm in a room that is pretty large. It's like a 12 by 16 room, and it has very good air circulation. But another thing is I'm burning on an easel, so the artwork is propped up and my face is not directly over the artwork when I'm burning. So this keeps the smoke from directly coming up into my face and irritating me. Now keep in mind, some people are going to be more sensitive and they need more protection than that. Now keep in mind that I generally burn at a lower temperature, so there is very little, if any, smoke generated. When I am burning darker, that's when I will clip this little fan onto the side. In this video clip, you can see that I am burning hot enough that it's generating visible smoke. The smoke is heading upward. Once I turn on the fan, It draws the smoke in the direction of the fan, and that's because I have the fan angled away from the artwork. So let's reverse the direction and see what happens. Again, you can see visible smoke being generated as I burn in the dark border. Look at the fan and notice how the blades are positioned so that the wind will now blow onto the artwork. Once the fan is turned on, the air hits the pen tip and starts cooling it. Now it is difficult to get a really dark burn result. And that's not what I want to happen right now. Key fast, what temperature do I burn at? Instead of thinking about the temperature, because there's a lot that goes into that, think about the output. That's what I concentrate on, and that's what I think you should concentrate on. I aim for a medium to dark tan burn result, and I will adjust the heat setting on my burner just in little increments until I get that desired result that I'm after. From there, I can either slow down my hand speed to get a darker result, or I can speed up my hand to get lighter. But if you've watched any of my tutorials, I do a lot of reburning, and that's how I get darker results. I'm not adjusting the heat after I get my tan result that I'm after. From there, it's all about reburning and using hand speed to get the different colors that I want. Lucinda wanted to know what's the difference between the tight round J and the J shader. There's no difference. Tight round J is the long drawn out name that Colwood uses for the shader that I use for a lot of my videos. But most of the time I will just call it a J shader because it's much quicker to say. Well, that's it for this Q&A session. I'm going to share with you some of the current projects that I'm working on. In the October video, I shared with you every project that I'm working on. Most of those I haven't touched in November, so I'm not going to bore you with them. Instead, I will just show you the stuff that I have been working on in November. Current projects. Since the October Q&A, I got the Northern Bob White finished. I also finished up the Lion. It's not one of my better pieces, but it's definitely been a learning experience. I am getting close to finishing the Tiger. My goal is to get this artwork done before the end of November. I recently started a steampunk fish, and I based the design off of a figurine I saw on the internet. Another new project is this sand dune. I was requested to create this artwork. Lastly, Todd is building another guitar. He wants a nautical theme burned onto it, so I did a test burn of the compass and the sextant that he wants on the pickguard. I am still working on the test burn for the deep sea diver that he wants on the left side of the guitar. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.